Hello, everybody. I'm Eve Mayer with the Brawless Entrepreneur podcast. And today I'm with Peg Kenda. Say hi, Peg.
Hi, guys.
And she came all the way here to Stillwater, Minnesota, because she lives somewhere cool in the cities, and she was sweet enough to drive out here. So anyway, the Brawless Entrepreneur podcast is devoted to women's health, wealth, and fun. Why is it called that? Because I've been able to make millions of dollars working from home in a t-shirt with no bra. Here's the secret, Peg. You just tip your monitor up a little bit, and then nobody knows,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So I picked up Peg on LinkedIn, right? I was looking for amazing area women entrepreneurs to interview. So we haven't even had a chance to talk a lot. So we're going to get to know each other right here on this show. So Peg, first of all, where do you live? You live in the cities.
Actually, I live in Hudson.
Hudson. Okay.
Yes.
So very close to
Very
here.
close. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And my office is in Woodbury.
Okay.
I lived in Woodbury for 10 years, and it got to the point where I was looking for a new home.
Yeah.
3.5 years ago, the market was not great.
Yeah.
Yep. I drove around quite a bit, put a few offers in. I would always either get outbid or show up and the home was sold. And so I did find something in Hudson that I liked enough, put an offer in and got it. And so I've been there ever since.
So you bought a house in Hudson?
I did.
A couple years ago?
3.5 years ago.
And was this your first house, your seventh house?
That was my second house.
Okay. See, we just moved into this apartment. We're like old. You can't relate.
Yeah.
And it's really relaxing because when our washer broke, we didn't have to worry about it. How do you like the whole home ownership thing?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that comes with it as far as maintenance goes. Now you have, to worry about, if it snows, you have to plow or do grass over the summer and things break. I mean, I've had to fix my dishwasher not long ago. My AC stopped working last summer at some point. And so, things come up.
Kind of a pain in the butt.
Always finding the phone numbers. So I would recommend anyone that, hasn't gone down that road yet, having a good roster of just, your main contacts or who you can call. The guys I bought the home for were nice enough to just, list just different maintenance individuals they've worked with or, who to call it, for like different appliances. Yeah. And so I've been fortunate enough to have that. But I do find myself, every now and again having to just, research and look up and, find experts. And then you got to, compare prices too and, reviews. And so, a little bit of that. But
my best friend, Maria, she's so successful and amazing, single woman, no kids, living the dream, right? Yeah. She has never bought a house. She's always lived in an apartment. And people are like, you're throwing your money away. But when you look at the numbers, that is not always true. Everybody has to make their own decision.
Absolutely.
Financially and lifestyle and all that. And I think she's doing great. It's all about choice.
Yeah. And you can buy a condo if you don't want, to end up dealing with the house too. That's always an option. But to each its own. Whatever fits, your needs best. That's what you go with.
All right, Peg.
Yeah.
Start us off. Where are you from? Tell us your life story.
Okay. Born and raised in West Africa.
Okay.
I finished high school. Then I moved to born and raised Burkina Faso. It's a tiny landlocked country. A lot of people have.
What is it? What name of it?
Burkina Faso.
Okay, so I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people have not heard of it.
Yeah,
but so that's home, a home country at least. And then finished high school. Then I moved to Senegal, to Dakar, Senegal. That's another Western African country.
I do actually know that. Yeah.
Yep, I spent a year there. So I went to a school. It was called Suffolk University, and the whole goal was you go there for 1 year or 2 years, and then you transfer to Suffolk University, Boston. I just so happened to have met, I've made friends, while I was in Dakar that ended up going to Southwest State.
Okay.
And so I kept in touch with them and they told me about the school. And that's how I found myself in Minnesota.
So did you want to go to Minnesota? Did you want to go to the U.S.? What happened?
Yes, I did want to go to the U.S. It's always been a dream of mine. Growing up, my friends from high school will tell you it would be 100-degree weather and I would have my, tie-high boots on. I would have a fur coat on. As just the lifestyle here. Because I would see videos about, in New York during the winter and what they would wear. And it was the summer in West Africa. And I would just, wear my fur coat. And
That's
so my friend...
funny.
Yeah. And so
Did you hate the heat?
It didn't bother me as much, actually.
Oh, I hate it. I'm from the South.
Yeah.
I do not like the heat. I love Minnesota.
Yeah.
So you just wanted to wear your fur coat and
Yeah,
like rock
I just want to
it.
be cute, and I just the
Amazing.
whole and I loved watching music videos or anything that had to do with the U.S.
Yeah.
I was very intrigued by, and
Okay.
so my friends will tell you they always knew that I would end up in the U.S.
I love
And
it.
yeah, it's always been my dream, and so
So how long have you been in the U.S.?
2008 is when I
Since
got here.
2008.
August.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you look really happy.
No, I love it. I
That's
love it.
amazing.
Yeah. I love Minnesota. I've learned the friends I met in Dakar did not tell me the whole truth about what to expect as far as, the weather. Southwest State, that's in Marshall, Minnesota. That's about 3 hours away from here, and a lot of like farmland and whatnot. So it's nothing. It was nothing like what I had been accustomed to.
Right.
Like my point of reference for the U.S. was always either New York or L.A., right?
Yeah, that's
And
a little
so,
different.
yeah, so it was quite to adjust but they told me the weather was great. They told me it was a good mix between New York and LA, which it wasn't.
New York and LA.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And, back then we either did not have Google or it just wasn't as popular. So I wasn't smart enough to, just Google to, know what to expect and research. So I showed up, and it was a shock at first, but I made the best of it. The school was really small. The town was small. Anytime the school was out, the town was dead because the students made the town, right? It was just the farmers and then the students at the school.
Right.
But I had nothing better to do but to study, so which made for me and then ending up having great grades and getting scholarships. So that was nice. And yeah, I finished my master's, and
What did you study, and what was your master's in?
So I have a bachelor's in marketing and finance, and I have an MBA in management.
Fancy.
Yes. And I'm getting my doctorate right now.
Of course you are. What are you getting your doctorate in?
In psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know people are crazy. Like me, right?
Well, I'm in the field. I'm in the mental health field. So, I've been exposed to that world for quite a few years and, been intrigued by it. And right now, I have marketing degree, I have the finance degree, I have the business degree, I have management. And in thinking about getting a doctorate, the only thing that I feel as though I could probably learn a little bit more on, was just psychology. I couldn't think of anything else that I would want to study. So.
I barely got through my bachelor's degree, so I'm very impressed with you.
Well,
How old are you? Do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 37, about to be 37 in 2 weeks.
You look gorgeous, by the way, and young. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you get all this education.
Yep.
You're getting your doctorate. You're in Minnesota, which is random. And then what happened? You got out of school, and did you go work for someone, or did you immediately start your own business? What happened?
No, I worked for someone. So the first job offered to me after college was at a treatment center. It used to be called River Ridge Treatment Center out of Burnsville. They've since sold over to Options, but I think even Options has since stopped services.
Okay.
But that's where I got my start. And that's where I learned how to bill.
Okay.
Yeah, so they hired me as a client's accounts coordinator.
I think that's yours.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can edit it out.
Okay.
You want to get it?
I can turn it off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude, don't worry about it. It's fine.
This off, and then I'm going to put this in, application.
How many phones do you have?
Just 2.
Oh my gosh.
Going off.
That's too funny. All good.
My team,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, I don't care. It's fine. All right, so let's go back. Let's talk about you get out of college, and so I'll just ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peg, you get out of college, and then did you go work for somebody, or did you work for yourself?
I did.
Okay.
I worked for someone out of college. The first job offered to me was at a treatment center. It used to be called River Ridge, and I think they've since sold over to Options. But I think options stop services recently as well. But that's where I got my start. So they hired me as a client accounts coordinator. So my role was to figure out what clients would have to pay for services and work out a payment plan.
And this was a medical company.
It was a medical company. Yeah,
Got it. So
yeah.
you, right out of school, you got into medical billing.
I did.
And
I did.
like, were you interested in that, or like that's just what you found?
That's just what I found. I
What
was,
happens a
I
lot,
applied
right?
to a lot of different jobs. And
Yeah.
actually, before I was offered that job, I got a call from a company telling me, oh, we have a marketing position for you. We found you online and we think you would be a good fit for the role. And I showed up and it was door-to-door sales for direct TV packages.
Oh, that's
And the neighborhoods they were selling into. And so, so I was seeing.
That's a little rough.
Exactly. That was a
Yeah.
little, I was, unsettling for a little bit. But then, I applied and they hired me for the client accounts coordinator role. And, it was a substance use disorder, but it also had a couple homes. So they had a women's residential as well as a men's residential. Now, if you know anything about treatment for substance use, especially inpatient, you rack up quite the bill. We're looking at probably $10,000, $12,000 at times. And so wanting to make sure that the clients knew what they were getting themselves into, because even when they did have, insurance coverage, you would still have to max out, like your out of pocket, at least pay
Got
that.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, it's quite expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, so I would figure out, how long they would be in treatment for, how much they would have to pay for the services, and figure out a payment plan that works not just for them, but also making sure the treatment center would have all amount owed to them by the time the client would be done for services.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So a lot of, numbers that I dealt with, phone calls, meetings with clients. But in doing that, they must have seen my work and, I never had any complaints from any of the clients.
Sure.
Which typically when you tell anyone they owe you $10,000, $12,000,
They're not happy.
No. But somehow I was able to figure out how to best approach them, and it always worked out. And so they did struggle a little bit in their billing department, and they asked if I would be willing to come in and help support that as well.
Sure.
And so that's how I learned how to bill. I knew nothing about medical billing.
Right.
And to be frank, if you would have told me in college about medical billing or that I would be in medical billing, I don't think it would have been of interest.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting how young people, like, they just believe there's like doctor, lawyer, teacher, like you just believe there's a few professions out there. And we so rarely end up in life doing one of those 5 things we think they're going to do. There's all kind of opportunities out there and amazing things you can be passionate about and successful about it. And sometimes you find it this way.
Correct.
Sometimes you accidentally get a job and you're like, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I could start a company. So you have your own company now.
I do now. Yes.
So tell me what happened. You're at this job and then what happened?
I'm at that job. I'm friendly to just about anyone. The billing department now. I'm being taught how to bill, code, EHR setup, authorization, specific referrals. So all things billing related. And, I would oftentimes still have providers because I dealt with patients starting out. They would come to me anytime a patient would have questions about what they have to pay for services or an AUB they may have received from their insurance company, and just asking me to break it down for them or asking for me to have meetings with their patients. And it grew from there where they would start asking me questions about, well, how much did did this claim process for? And, or why was this denied or rejected? And then from there, some of those providers actually had practices outside of the center, like your side practices.
Yeah.
And so they would come to me with any issues they had, with anything they were doing also outside the center. And they would tell their peers to just call me for any questions they had. I must have been really helpful to them. But it grew from there, and organically, I started getting a lot of requests for consulting. And so I consulted for about 4 years, and I got to the point where I had enough clients, and it made sense to turn this into a business officially.
Is medical billing consulting like a big... Are there a lot of people that do that or not many? Is it kind of special? I've never heard of it. I'm not in the medical industry. How would I have heard of it, right? But is that, like, are there a ton of consultants out there that do what you do?
I would not say a ton. I think they are probably in Minnesota. I want to say maybe 6, 7 companies that are not on the bigger scale,
6,
but
7?
that are. That's okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, about 6 of them, but that are a little.
Yeah.
And then you have, some individuals that also consult. I don't have a number on that per se.
But it's not like huge.
It's not huge. No,
Yeah.
it is not.
Okay.
It is not. Yeah.
Very
And
specialized.
correct.
Got it.
And you still find that a lot of the bigger entities or hospital systems still would prefer to keep their billing in-house.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about who your typical client is. It's probably not the hospitals.
Yeah.
It's probably like an individual doctor or specialist or therapist. Tell me who they are.
I do have some clinics and hospitals that I bill for and support. Not as many as I would like because, again, they prefer to have the billing in-house.
Right.
But I do have medical groups. I have a lot of independent practitioners. I have some housing facilities, nursing homes even, but a lot of mental health and behavioral health centers.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so you go in and teach them how to do it, or they completely outsource the billing to you?
They completely outsource their billing to me. Yeah.
Okay.
In some cases, every now and again, we get a phone call from, bigger entities that, they want to keep the billing in-house. There are struggles there. And so they would want for my team and to come out and help train their in-house billers on, best processes. And so we do have a package as well that we offer for that. But most clients come to us and fully outsource.
Got it.
Yeah.
So how long have you had your business? How long have you been working full time on your business?
It's been a year. So as 2018, I started. However, full time, just my business, probably about 6 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So many people don't make it past a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so you're doing something right. So is it just you, or do you have contractors or team members that work for you?
I have a team.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have a team. I have over 55 staff members and counting.
55?
Yes, I do.
What? Give it up. Yes.
I do.
I
Yeah.
love that so much.
And counting. This week alone, we hired 3 additional staff members.
Oh my gosh, Peg.
Yes. Yeah.
You're amazing and so young.
Young-ish.
Yeah.
I don't feel young, but
yeah, you're young. When you're 52, everybody looks young after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get personal.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you feel like as a woman of color and an immigrant?
Sure.
Were there other things that you had to overcome? Because it just sounds like when you explain it, you're like, I did this, I kicked ass, I had all this education. Do you feel like there were times that you had to fight harder, let's say, than an American white man? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think now that I've grown significantly, I'm noticing it more. I think when I first started, I was just an underdog, and I think I was probably underestimated a little bit.
Yeah.
But also coming from where I came from, those providers were able to see what I was able to do, without them even paying me directly because the treatment center was paying me.
Right.
And so that did give me leverage. And I also feel as though we don't have as many companies, or didn't back then have as many companies that offered these services. There's one I can think of, but it was very, very niche. And I would come in and offer a contract where, if you want to walk off at any given point, like, give me a 1-month notice and you're out. Other companies would ask you for, lock you in a contract for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
And so I think I did have an advantage, when it came to that.
I like doing that too, because if they're not happy with your work,
why would you want to keep them?
Why are you going to make them stay in there?
Yeah.
Let them go.
Yeah, because, ultimately it's going to be toxic.
Yes.
It's going to be unhealthy. And, why would you want to be in a room or that doesn't make sense to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, and I feel as though if you believe enough in your product or service and you have a strong enough service, the work will speak for itself and you will be able to retain that,
When I mentor, I do a lot of mentoring women, business women individually. We don't sign a contract.
Oh, wow.
Because if they're not happy,
they can just...
why should they be here?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not if I'm not serving them.
Correct. Yeah.
Why should they give me money?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Yeah. I think if you're confident in your value and what you offer, there's no point in, wanting to force someone to stay in a contract.
So 55 people is crazy. Do you have an office or do you work remotely?
Mm-hmm.
Both?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah.
Do you really feel like you need an office anymore? Like, do any of your clients come to the office?
Some.
They do.
Yeah, every now and again,
Like
yes.
old people? I know, I won't make you say it. Old people are going to. I used to have a big, beautiful office back in the day.
Yeah.
And we had a team of 30 and we did hybrid, like work at home some, come in some.
Yeah.
We had, team members in other countries. Obviously, they're not coming into the office.
Yeah.
And it was great. Like we had a great time, just incredible people. And now I don't know. I don't know if I would need it now. I don't know that it matters anymore. What do you like? What do you get out of having an office? Tell me about that.
For me, it's mostly for clients.
Okay.
It does not really serve me as far as, my team or I. We don't need to be in an office. We can do mostly everything remotely, especially in medical billing.
Right.
I mean, everything is on the cloud.
Right.
So you access the data, you work on it from there. You can certainly monitor effectively that way as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find it's counterproductive having. Then, they call me and they show up, and then there's the distraction of it all, right? Where they want to have conversations.
Sure.
Then, they start, going to one another's office, and they spend a lot of time just catching up over what they may have done over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they tend to be a little more productive when they are able to just, fully, work in a comfortable setting. And no colleague or anyone can.
In your sweatpants.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. You save time, there's no commute or anything.
Yes.
And it
okay.
works well.
So what's the plan? Like 55 people, been around for 8 years.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for? What are you hoping to achieve?
So right now I have over 100 clients.
Amazing.
And my goal is to get to probably, once I have 1,500, 2,000, then I would feel accomplished.
Why? Why that number?
Because then I would really feel as though I think I've picked that number because I heard I don't know, I had a meeting and the 2,000 number was brought up. It was a much larger company, not out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
But that's the number I want to hit.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Everybody has their goal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know this number. 1.6% of women entrepreneurs ever make it over $1 million in revenue.
Really?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
No, it's not.
It's ridiculous. And it's lower for women of color. Women of color.
I believe it.
It's bullcrap. It's ridiculous, right? So you're killing it. I love this so much. Okay. Have you ever thought about applying for like the Inc. 5000? Have you ever looked at that kind of thing?
I have not. What is that?
You should. So Inc. 5000 is like companies that are smaller but have big bouts of growth over a period of years can be recognized as the top 5,000 companies in the country.
Oh, okay.
And they get a lot of praise and
nice
publicity. But I think you should look into that. I really do.
Oh, well.
Okay. So personally, are you married? Do you have kids? Are you in a relationship?
No.
Is it because you're too busy or you just don't want to?
I was in a long-term relationship for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Ended up not working out. And, I think I've learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
And just wanting to make sure the next person I meet or I'm with would be right.
Yeah.
I will say, I was supposed to go out last Friday with someone, and I had a client that just, called, and we had a lot going on into account, and I just ended up not making it. So my work always comes first these days.
I get it.
So in other priorities. So that's probably part of it too.
I know you don't know this probably, but I wrote a book on online dating. So I'll have to give you a copy.
Oh yeah, let me know.
It's kind of dirty. And then I did a TED Talk about women empowerment and online dating. And so I asked this question because it's always interesting to me how a woman designs her life. And here you are, 36, about to be
37.
About to be 37.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, I was going to have this date, but the client called and that's more important. And it's just so interesting to me, the choices we make. Maybe at some point in your life that will change.
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah. I can't see myself prioritizing a man over my business.
Yeah.
Or
You
anyone.
can't ever see that.
I don't see that happening.
Fantastic.
No, you never know what the future may hold. There could be
Right.
someone very special out there that,
Right.
would be worth it. But as of now, I did sacrifice a lot in my old relationship. And I think, it slowed me. If I hadn't been in that, I think I would be a lot further away in my career.
Interesting.
And looking back, it was 10 years that I could have, utilized and been productive with that I ended up, giving to somebody else.
Yeah.
Putting someone else first, and it ended up not working out anyways.
Yes.
So, these days my work comes first, and if I have time for anything else, then yeah.
I get that. I was married.
Uh-huh.
It was awful
Yeah.
to a real lame person. And I could have gone faster too. And I look at that now. My daughter came from that.
Oh, well,
so that's
a
awesome,
blessing. That's
right?
great. Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But then after that, I was like, I'm never going to get married again. I'm going to date everybody. I'm going to be a player. And I was. It was great.
I mean, you've earned it. Yeah.
And then I met my husband,
Uh-huh.
who is the love of my life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And we've been together for 13 years. But I'll tell you what, I didn't think I could find someone like that. And he's very special in the fact that he lets me shine. He knows that I am driven.
Yeah.
I love to make money. I like to be the boss.
Okay.
I like to be accomplished like you are.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, just let me support you. And he does. He sets up the tech.
Yeah.
He came and turned this on.
Yeah.
He builds the technology. He rubs my feet at night.
That's beautiful.
So that dude might be out there. And to find a man like that who can support you and still be a man.
Correct.
They exist.
Yeah. And they would have to be very patient, right? Especially at first. Because but not if you prove yourself, over and over, and I see you with the right intentions, and you really are, supporting me in the ways I need support, and then maybe I'll open up more. And
it exists because I take care of him in the way he wants to be taken, which is totally different than what I want. I'm so high maintenance, right? He doesn't care about fancy things and money. And I'm like, I do. I want to go to the spa, right?
I want nice things. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's possible.
Yeah.
And then it's possible that you'll just be this badass single woman all your life living the dream.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that could be too. Could be too.
But you have all these choices. You're young and beautiful and successful.
Young-ish,
Whatever.
Like
that's
pushing 40.
That's young to me.
Young-ish.
That's still young. The older you get, the younger it seems. All right. So we're wrapping up.
Okay.
I want you to give the audience one ask. So the ask could be anything you need, personally, professionally, coaching, a vendor, an employee, a sale, like anything.
Okay.
What could other women out there right now support you with? If you could have one thing, what would it be?
Gosh. What could they support me in? If they happen to know anyone that needs any of the services we offer, which would be, of course, medical billing, revenue cycle management, contracting, credentialing, licensing, training or consulting for any providers in the medical field that bill either the state, the counties, or their insurances, they can certainly tell them about me and my services.
I actually might have a referral for you.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. And so do you just handle people in Minnesota or where?
Oh, well, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Florida, California, Virginia, South Carolina, and counting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Of
being on the show.
course.
I think you're fabulous.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in to The Braless Entrepreneur. You can check out all the episodes at ditchthebra.com.